Bonjour tout le monde, everybody. Jason here from MTL Bass Pros. We're just over a week away from Renegade's Q3 and Q4 qualifying tournament on the Ottawa River out of Rockland, Ontario. And I'm the Friday the week before, and I'm just going to be coming out here to try something a little different that I'm not used to on the Ottawa River. I'm looking for a smallmouth pattern in a totally different area. Nick and I have quite a few smallmouth places that we're going to really be practicing the Wednesday, the Thursday, and the Friday before the tournament. But I'm in a totally different area of the river that I've never really explored, and I believe there should be some good smallies here. So I'm kind of looking for a backup pattern, whether it's halfway through day one or a day two pattern entirely, because we all know here, fishing back-to-back tournaments on the same body of water 2 days in a row, you got to have a lot of stuff to go to. This river gets hit real hard, and I'm really looking for something that's going to complement our day one strategy. So I'm going to go through it real quick, the lures that I'm going to be using to practice here, to cover water and to look for concentrations. I don't want to find one fish there. I really want to find an area where I can really catch, we can catch 3, 4, 5 fish out of. So I'll start with probably the most common lure we use to look for smallmouth, and that's a chartreuse and a white spinnerbait. I don't need to get into too much detail, the chartreuse and the white, because we're fishing the stained Ottawa River, and I use a Colorado and a willow leaf blade, Colorado for the thump, willow for the flash, because the water, like I mentioned, is very stained here. Tube jig, covering shallow rock piles, deeper rock piles, drop-offs, using a Jig-A-Joe Deluxe quarter-ounce tube head and a Dumb's tube in the gray smoke color. Fluorocarbon line, not for the invisibility factor, but allow my tube to get down a little faster. Very good sensitivity as well in the fluorocarbon. We're using 10-pound. I'm using 10-pound trilene 100% fluoro here on a 15-pound spider wire main line. After that, use a wacky rig stickworm. So I'm using a dumb stick here in the 5-inch size, black and blue, wacky rig format. Once again with a fluorocarbon leader, simply to allow my lure to get down a little bit faster. I also have split shot weights here, that if I'm fishing a deeper weed line, I'll clip a split shot right above the knot. 1 or 2 split shots will allow the lure to flutter down faster. Instead of having a weighted hook or a like a weighted wacky rig hook or 2 rods rigged, what I'll usually do is just clip on or clip off the split shots. And then once I've realized that, for example, I'm fishing a deeper weed line, then I may install a hook that has a weight attached to it to allow my bait to get down. But this will allow me to go between a shallow and a deep weed line. So a really good trick to use sometimes. Lucky Craft BDS1 crankbait, don't really need to explain it, covering shallow water, riprap banks, laydowns, just cast the crankbait out, fishing it on fluorocarbon line for the abrasion resistance. Smallies can't seem to resist a good crankbait ran right in front of their face, so love the Lucky Craft BDS1. One of my all-time favorites, topwater fishing for smallmouth, white popper because of the stained water. It allows me to really cast far over rock flats and sand flats as well. And smallmouth just absolutely, when they're on, they smoke this thing. So love it. I'm fishing this on 30-pound spider wire braid. A lot of people like, because of the treble hooks, to be using monofilament. I just really let the fish take it, and very rarely do they come unbuttoned. Have a nice softer rod. I'm using a St. Croix topwater rod, the Legend Tournament series. So one of my favorite techniques. And last but not least, haven't rigged up the rod yet. I'm about to do that right now. But a 3/4 ounce Jig X black and blue weedless jig. Allows me to flip weed lines. I use either a Dumb's Chunk trailer or the Jig X Chunk X trailer, and basically what I'm going to be doing is sitting on the outside of weed lines or penetrating the mats and just covering. I have one area where it's located on a mat that I believe there's a really good weed line, and it looks like it's on the outside of a spawning cove, so I'm really going to work that weed line nicely and see if I can find an area that's holding some largemouth. So I'll keep you guys posted with a quick video at the end of the day to let you know how it went. But me and Nick are really looking forward to this. We believe that if we can do, 17 pounds a day on the Ottawa River, the Classic should be locked up like this for us. 17 pounds on the Ottawa River could be extremely difficult. Like, you could pull up on one spot and you can hammer them. So we want to do one of the 2 days. We'd love to do a 20-pound bag. I'm sure everybody watching this video is probably agreeing with that. They'd love to do it as well. So we're really looking for a couple of good backup patterns. Right before the tournament, we'll let you guys know exactly what we found and exactly what our game plan is for the 2 days. and hopefully we can come out of here with 2 real good weights and qualify for the Classic. Alright, so that first practice day is in the books, and didn't go great. Electric motor broke down on me at around 12:30. I didn't actually break down, but the pull cord to stow and deploy the motor actually broke on me, so I couldn't reach it. I had to pry it out with pliers, so unfortunately I ended the day short. Didn't really, unfortunately, the reality is fishing's not always easy. Didn't really find anything worth talking about for smallmouth. I caught a bunch of them, a lot of 1.5 to maybe maximum of 2 pounders. Fishing shallow rock flats. I found this one backwater bay that I went for largemouth a little bit, where I was telling you about. I was going to do some weed line flipping. Caught some fish. Carolina rigged with a 10-inch worm as well. There was a lot of stumps and actual full laydowns that were in the back of this open water pocket. So I believe that I might have found something for a future date, whether it be the opening tournament on Lefebvre another year, because it seems like the fish had left. There were some largemouth, I caught some, but it seemed like the good sized fish just weren't in the bay anymore, and I'm sure it's too beautiful not to hold fish at an earlier time in the year. Also went on a flat and saw a couple of big smallmouth cruising. With the clouds that there was and the rain today, it was hard to develop, figure out exactly what they were doing, but once again, you store it in the bank, you put it in the logbook, and next year, the year after, you come back to it. So to wrap this up, Wednesday morning, I'm leaving with Nick. We're going 2 boats. We're hitting the Ottawa real hard. We're going to kind of do a milk run in between what we know and a lot of new. A lot of things that we figured out last year for the smallmouth, a lot of areas that we found for smallmouth, we're going to try and duplicate them. We believe you could do almost a 19-20 pound bag of smallmouth on this river if you get on the right spot. So we're going to really look into that. We're going to go to do a lot of main river largemouth, and we're going to work a little bit in the back bays as well. So we'll keep you guys posted. Wednesday is going to be a video coming out, hopefully, if we could get the internet access that we're expecting. And we're going to break it down exactly how practice went on Friday, and hopefully we can nail a real big bag. Actually, hopefully nail 2 really big bags for both days.